They've battled it out for 9 rounds across the globe in all conditions. For one of these 3 men, rallycross immortality beckons. Who will scale new heights in World RX? It's the showdown in Cape Town.
Hello, good morning, how's it? And welcome to Cape Town in South Africa. This is the final day of the season. It all ends here. There have only ever been 3 World Rallycross champions, but by 4 o'clock local time this afternoon, we will have a new name carved into the history books. Welcome. Let's have a look at where we've been so far this year to bring us to this historic moment. We started way back in Abu Dhabi. We've been around Europe, across to Canada, back into Europe. It's been a little break since Latvia, but now we've traveled right down to the bottom of the African continent, and here we are in Cape Town, the mother city. Normally, we'd be in the shadow of Table Mountain. You'd be able to see that over there, but at the moment, the tablecloth is over it. You can't see Table Mountain, but it's a little bit cooler this morning than it was yesterday afternoon. I think the air temperature is about 19 degrees. Track temperature is about 25, but the sun's coming out, the cloud's going to clear, it's going to get warmer, and certainly the battle is going to hot up. Let's go and have a look at how the cars are lining up. This is the last time today we'll see all of these cars in this formation before we all reset for 2020. Let's see if we can have a word with someone who is coping very well with the pressure. And let's see how he feels ready for qualifying 3. And if this is your guy, comment below if you're rooting for Andreas. Andreas, good morning.
Good morning. There we go.
We understand that we've got new grids for this because Liam unfortunately hasn't made it, which puts you in quite a strong position in the first race.
Yeah, it does. All of a sudden I'm now in pole. Yeah, we can maybe turn things around. That's what I hope for. Also driving in the first heat, maybe there are some track conditions which would be worse for us, but hopefully we can have a good heat and yeah, I just need to take that start and nail every lap, and hopefully I can turn it around a little bit.
You seem in a very good sort of level frame of mind. Did you step out of bed on the right foot this morning? And tell us all about your preparations this morning.
Yeah. Woke up, Mats in the bed next to me, like we always do, traveling around the world. And had alarm on 6:52. Woke up, got with the right leg first and then left, and then I put right sock before left sock, and all of a sudden here we are.
And it's good. You do seem very sort of calm and collected. What's going on inside? Is it a little bit difficult to keep it all controlled?
Of course, there is feelings inside. You know, we all want this. We all have worked very hard. Everyone in the team. So has the Hansens. You know, so it's just you need to be on the best, and you need to try your best. More than that, you can't do. And hopefully, we have it in us today.
Well, everyone's rooting for you and the Hansens and everyone, and good, clean fighting. Have a great race. So that's qualifying 3 is about to take place, and Andreas Backward is on pole for the first race. Let's see how we got to qualifying 3 by looking back at qualifyings 1 and indeed 2.
High temperatures and sunshine in Cape Town as qualifying got underway would dust be an issue. Race 1 and Niklas Gronholm got a clear whole shot on the run down to turn 1. The Finn was on fantastic form, never looked back from there and took the checkered flag. Race 2, Timmy Hansen and Kevin Hansen had chosen to race together to lessen the odds of an incident in turn 1. Timmy, around the outside of Kevin, would hold on to that position until the checkered flag and set a time which would not be bettered. On to race 3, Andreas Backward without the backup of his teammate Liam Doran. Doran had an engine failure in free practice. Backward lost the start, but took Kaliakowski in turn 1. A brilliant move by the Norwegian. He's almost as quick as Hansen. The final race of Q1. Gulan Shishrut with a good start, but Sabo out-dragged him down to turn 1. He then got hung out to dry. Timurs Yarnov was hanging it out too, sideways for the Russian. He edged out Sabo on the Joker tactics to take the checkered flag. Hansen wins Q1. The grids were reversed for Q2 with all the fast guys in together. Gronholm again with the whole shot. Contact behind from Timmy Hansen, backward at the back of the pack. Gronholm was in fantastic form despite the track having been watered. He set an incredible time and gapped the world's best 3 rallycross drivers from this season. Brilliant job by the Finn. Race 2, Timo Timozianov had seen what his teammate had done and was keen to copy him. Markland tried to go round the outside in turn 1, but it was the Russian who took the lead while Sabo ran wide. Timozianov was pushing hard. He almost did enough to match Gronholm, but not quite. Behind him, Scheider and Markland squabbled for P2. It went the way of Scheider. Shisharik got left on the grid as Kaliakowski beat his teammate Baumanis down to turn 1. The Latvian looked faster, but he couldn't find a way past. In the end, it came down to joke lap strategy, with Baumanis coming out in front. The final race of Q2, and Liam Doran broke a drive shaft off the start. A disaster for the RX cartel. Out front, De Ridder and Cyril Raymond went side by side into turn 2. Pereshkin put paid to Raymond. De Ridder went P3 in Q2, but the overnight TQ was Gronholm.
We've done a good job in the races we've done, and I would love to be in the championship fight coming here, but I had the problems with my health, so yeah, it's a pity we're not in the fight. I would have loved to battle the guys, you know, throughout the season, but yeah, like I said, it is what it is, and the only target for me this weekend is to try to win the race.
Fantastic performance by Gronholm to win Q2 in those slippery conditions. Hansen holds on to P2 thanks to his winning Q1. Kevin Hansen and Andreas Backward further down the order as the track dried for the later runners. At the minute, Kaliakowski and Shisha are on the cusp. Can Doran make it and support Backward in the semis?
So, keep an eye on the flying Finn, Nicholas Gronholm right there, but also, of course, these 2 cars and these 2 brothers. Could it be a Hansen? Could it be a Backward? It's very exciting. I've got goosebumps. We're about to watch 3 races of World RX, 3 races of RX2, and then we'll come back for qualifying 4. So I know I'm excited, and I know there are 2 gentlemen in the commentary booth over there who are probably quite excited as well, and that is Andrew Coley and Dan Rook.
I could not be more excited. I mean, this is this morning very interesting what they've done in terms of Doran. So, okay, Doran's had a problem. He completed warm-up perfectly okay this morning. The car looked absolutely mega, but we did have 4 four-car races. Now, by pulling Doran, Backward ends up in race 1. I've got my grids down here. Here we go. And Backward ends up with a relatively easier race than what Kevin Hansen and Timmy Hansen have. So Kevin and Timmy are actually going to be in together. But it's a clever tactic, Dan, because it gives Andreas, he has to get it done. He has to get it done. From pole, he needs a whole shot. There are people in that race who can beat him, but it's an easier race than what Timmy and Kevin have got. Plus, it gives them traffic. It gives them more chance of something going wrong. So great tactics, and I've got a feeling I know who might have helped with those decisions.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, Andreas does have to nail his start. It really puts the pressure on him to get that done. But yeah, with Timmy and Kevin being in a slightly more difficult race, of course, we've seen them when they start together, though they do work well together on the way into turn 1. But yeah, they are in with some more difficult drivers.
Yeah, so incredibly clever tactics. And this is what you've got to do if you want to win a world championship. So Liam, as you take them on for the teams, you've got a problem with the car, it doesn't matter. It's up to them what they do with it, and it's very, very clever. I love the amount of thought that's gone into it. Have a little think about how clever it is. So let's take a little look at the track. That's our overhead view from the far end as it is at the moment. Here's a little map to remind you of the layout. Just over 1 kilometre for the standard, another 100 odd metres with the Joker. Joker around the outside is mostly asphalt coming back onto dirt. And it's really more about track conditions. You guys know turn 1 here is relatively safe. It's quite wide. There are option lines for outside, inside. We saw Backward make that pass on Kaliakowski. We've seen Kevin Hansen go round the outside here before. So plenty of options in turn 1. But Dan, I wanted to talk more about the track conditions. So if we look here, it's pretty dry on the way in. There's still a little bit of dampness. We think they put down a fair bit of dust X, particularly on the other end of the circuit in front of our commentary position up by the jump in turn 2 and 3. It's a bit darker. it's a bit more compact. It's not as hot this morning just yet. What are you thinking?
Yeah, so I'd imagine the evolution of dryness through the course of the qualifying session isn't going to be as varied as it was yesterday. You know, the track temperature's down by 20 odd degrees compared to yesterday.
Yeah, it was 40, wasn't it? And it's only it's early in the morning, of course, too here, early-ish, 10.
Yeah.
10. There's Backerud's fan club. Now, yesterday, of course, Backerud probably came off the worst. Yeah, he said in an interview we spoke to him, which you'll see later on in the show, he was 7/10 off the back of Timmy Hansen in that session, and it was 7 places in the overall standings. And that was because he went in that first race, and it wasn't as quick because the track was damp. The other drivers were, relatively speaking, quicker than they normally would be, and that meant then that he lost 7 positions. So track evolution could be an issue. But remember, Niklas Gronholm yesterday won the session by a comfortable margin in the first race of the session. Here we go then, Q3 about to get underway. Let's take a look at the grid for race 1, and you'll see that it is a 5-car grid. Very clever. Liam Doran has been withdrawn from Q3. A technical issue apparently ahead of the racing, which means Backrud moves into pole in the first race with Bennett, Shisharit, Farashkin and Raymond. He needs to get the whole shot here. He's in P6, that's not bad. Notice he hasn't put new tyres on the car, so they'll be saving those for the semi-finals and for the big championship fight. There he is, heat haze off the track, but as we say, it's only actually 20-degree air temperature. Track is 26, so they were about 10 degrees down on air and a good 15-20 degrees down on track temperature at this point. Crucial start for Backrud. Here we go. He's got it done off the line. Bennett drops back. Backrud's on the inside. Farashkin, the only one with him. Backrud's on the inside, going to be on the brakes nice and late. Doesn't get collected from the rear. I was worried he was going to get contact there. I think it's still Raymond who's up behind him, so it is. Andreas Backrud into turn 2 sideways. Bit of contact there for Shisharit. That may be from his teammate Cyril Raymond again. Farashkin's up the inside, and I think so Shisharit into P2, Raymond's dropped back, but Backrud absolutely got it done. He had to. Now he's got to nail the lap stand.
Yeah, he really didn't crack under the pressure there, so got that job done. I was worried he would be collected on the way into turn 1 because there was contact behind with Bennett and Shisharit. I thought maybe they would have collided and sailed on into Andreas, but luckily that didn't happen for him. And now you can see he's nailing the gap. It's already 1.7 back to Shisharit.
That is huge in one lap, but this is tactical genius. Whether it doesn't matter whether there's a problem with Liam's car or not. The team are entitled to do what they want to do with it, and this is brilliant.
Yeah, fantastic job by them, but he's just, of course, got to hope that he can be the top qualifier by the end.
Now, we looked on 40.6 for Backrud as a lap time. That's absolutely massive, isn't it? We were in 41. Yes, is that the fastest lap of the weekend?
Yeah, that must be the fastest lap, I'm sure of it, and that's off of the line as well, so... Yeah.
Okay, so Backrud, that's interesting. Backrud was about P13 in morning warm-up. We noticed he lifted through turn 1 twice, Dan. I think they were hiding their pace during free practice this morning.
Yeah, potentially they found something overnight because he limped around and he even pulled off the track early in the morning warm-up. It's just gone a 40.7 from the racing lap, so really strong performance.
And on used tyres as well, so Andreas Backrud is not on new boots according to our graphics, and 40.6 and a 40.7, he is absolutely smashing the lap times. Dan, this, obviously the Hansons would have clocked what they've done. They may even have discussed it last night and gone, I'm willing to bet they pulled Doran. The teams have these incredibly detailed conversations about what might have happened, but now Backrud's got the whole shot. Now he's banging in the laps. He's piling the pressure back on the other way.
Yeah, of course. Timmy and Kevin are going to be sat on the grid watching this. They'll have their spotters in their ears saying, my goodness, they've just put it, he's gone sub 41-second lap time. So you boys are going to have to pull it out of the bag, and of course that's then playing on the Hansons' mind.
Yeah, great. Fantastic performance from Andreas Backrud. Fantastic fight in this incredible year of World Rallycross action. You're looking at Farashkin and Cyril Raymond. Now we cut back to Andreas Backrud at the front of the field. A 40.7. Again, he's gone sub 41 on all 3 laps. Andreas Backrud now into the joke lap. He's going to look for a perfect lap here too. Watch him into the apex. He'll come deep and late. Maybe rotate the car on the handbrake just a little bit. Straightens it out early. Lovely job. Carries good momentum through. So yesterday's fastest time was a 2:52.6 from Timmy Hansen. What's Backrud going to do here? Over the line. 2:51.1. Fastest time of the weekend for Andreas Backrud. Yes! Fist pump inside the car. An emphatic comeback, and that is the gauntlet thrown down early in the morning here. World Championship Sunday, and Backwood's got it done in Q3. Oh, what a drive. What tactics and what a drive. You have to get it all right. You can't just do the tactics. Backwood had to do the job there as well, and he did. Brilliant. There are the Backwood Blues. They are as pleased as Andreas Backwood is. Result of Q3 race 2, Andreas Backwood with a 2:51.183, the fastest time of the weekend. Absolutely brilliant. 1.5 seconds quicker than Timmy went in Q1 yesterday. Dylan Shisha, Cyril Raymond, Matvey Farashkin and Ollie Bennett. This was it then, off the line. So Dan, you and me both worried here. We don't want anything to happen to the World Championship protagonist. On the inside, look at the contact there. Was it Bennett in the back of Shisha?
Yeah, I think Bennett was on the inside of Shisha on the run down to the corner, and then Galan just shut the door and then they go tangled. And of course, when you've got two cars tangled together like that, they don't necessarily stop as quick as a car on his own. So they could have easily gone into the back of Andreas there.
No, he won't have seen that. Obviously, it's kittens for everyone else, but for Backwood, it's job done. He got the whole shot. I mean, this was who's this? Cyril Raymond, and taking Bennett. Nice pass up the inside there, but nothing as nice as what Backwood has done. 3 fastest laps of the weekend and a fastest time of the weekend sees him throwing down an incredible benchmark for the session.
Andreas, tell us exactly where all that extra speed just came from. That was impressive.
Yeah, it felt pretty good. Just the start was there, the racing along the track. It's very hard conditions because it's very different from yesterday. So it's hard to read it. Every lap is changing a little bit. The crew put a lot of dust decks on the track, so it's very high grip actually on the gravel today, especially turn 3, turn 6. I would say I said on the radio to the guys I was 100% happy with the race. Just turn 6, I was not 92%. So there is a little bit more, but I think I should be happy with this run.
It's a good start to the day. Well done.
Well, me and Dan are frantically counting to 6 to try and figure out which one turn 6 is, because we normally only deal with the first 2 or 3.
I think it's the hairpin, standard lap hairpin.
Okay, so fair enough. Interesting what Backwood said, though, which is exactly what we said. They put down a lot of dust decks, and it was different to yesterday. Yesterday, to me, was water, because the track remained brown, and then it dried to the red African dust, whereas today the track looks black, and that's the Rallycross Championship.
Timmy, just tell us, where did you find that pace? That was incredible.
This was, I think these 4 laps were one of my best races all season. That was a perfect run. I was absolutely flat out. From the very first corner after the start, launch was also great. And then every single corner, every single time. I knew this was an important race, and I'm super proud that I could pull this off. So yeah, it feels great. I'm super happy to see Kevin behind, like in my mirrors. So yeah, now I'll refocus, I'll do Q4, and I'll approach that the same as I did now.
Well done, thank you.
Wow, what a performance from Timmy Hansen. Absolutely epic. Incredible, incredible. To do those lap times, he said it himself, that was the perfect run. We've heard him say that a few times, but I think never has he meant it more than he did then. Final race of Q3 coming up. We've seen incredible performances from Backwood and Timmy Hansen. Our World Championship top 3 are at the top of the table, but we have some very quick people still to come. Niklas Gronholm, overnight TQ winner yesterday of Q2. Timmer's track conditions, he knows that, but it's good to see him getting a good result. Timmer's-Yarnov and Gronholm have been absolutely flying. They were P1 and P2 yesterday. They're P1 and P2 on the grid for the last race of qualifying. Can they match those incredible lap times of Hansen and Backwood? Jump start. No, Niklas. Niklas Gronholm jumps the start.
The one person that looked like he could...
Which should mean it's been triggered by the timing equipment. So we think, well, it's Gronholm. We've got a warning for Kevin Hansen on track markers. So one more for Kevin Hansen, and he gets a 5-second penalty. So Kevin Hansen is dicing with the track markers. I think did he do it in turn 2? Because if he did, he doesn't deserve it because he got tagged by power management. But I don't know. So, and yesterday the stewards were great because Markland yesterday got pushed into the markers and they didn't for Niklas. It was a full launch as well. It wasn't like a creeping clutch to me, or unless he felt it was overheating, he's just let it go. But anyway, here we go. Restart for the final race of Q3. Niklas Gronholm jumped the start the first attempt. Hopefully he's going to get it right this time. He definitely won't be beating the Hansens. Could Scheider or Timosyanov, Markland or Derrida do anything about those lap times? But money's on the inside. Scheider going to try and go around the outside of all three. They're 3 wide through turn 2. Derrida's up the inside of Timosyanov. Almost into the back of Gronholm. Gronholm's going to get the whole shot. As they come around, Gronholm leads then in P2. It looks like Derrida is on in the wall. Is it Markland tags the wall in the background? Timosyanov P3 looking up the inside of Derrida. Can't make it stick though. Gronholm holds the lead, trying to come around the outside. Derrida now. Scheider's looking up the inside. 4 cars. Who goes Joker? Scheider goes into the Joker and Markland's gone with him.
This is too messy to even touch Timmy's top.
Hansen, Backerud, Hansen, I think will be the top 3 in this. Gronholm, as Dan has rightly said, has got a double Joker at the minute. He could do 2. Timosyanov trying to get past Derrida. I think he's up the inside this time. He's side by side with him. Going to try and flick back the other way. Now he's on the island to the rear of him. He touches him over the jump. Timosyanov trying desperately to make the pass. Derrida goes defensive. So Guillaume is desperate to hold on to his position, which I understand, Dan, but he also will be losing time by having to be defensive. Tough position to be in. Derrida goes Joker. So Derrida's gone into the Joker lap, and this will be to try and cover off the guys behind. So we'll see how defensive he's been. Too defensive to get past Scheider. Scheider's going to get him. Is he going to be able to get Markland? So Markland, Derrida manages to hold on from. Oh, super late in the race. Go on, Guillaume, get it.
For me, I think Gronholm should have gone in on that lap. He already had the gap.
Markland's managed to get past Derrida. Yeah, agreed. He's got 2 to do. You might as well have stuck one in when you had the chance. So Markland gets past Derrida. So Gronholm still with 2 Jokers to do. Timosyanov 5.1 seconds back. Scheider here could be on for getting this, you know, because with Gronholm having 2 to do, and he's close enough to Timosyanov at the minute, who hasn't Joker. So Gronholm goes in for 1. He's going to come out in the lead, though, isn't he? I reckon Gronholm's got time for both, Dan. I'll take it back.
Yeah.
That's Gronholm has put in, to be fair, so yeah, he's done a 40.3 and 40.2. How does that Joker compare? 42.6?
The Joker is the fastest Joker I think we've seen.
Oh, Niklas, no! So the jump start has ruined Niklas Gronholm's chances of winning this session. But with the laps he's doing, he could still get a halfway house result. And he was miles in front in the intermediate standings. He was 7 points up on Timmy Hansen. Niklas Gronholm to out-drag him. I wonder if Scheider's got a problem. Timosyanov out in front of both of them. Markland versus Scheider into that chicane. Over the line. Markland gets P3. Timosyanov P2. Gronholm, though, with the win. 42.6 and a 42.8. His Jokers were great and a 52.0. He goes 4th. Niklas Gronholm is 4th with 2 Jokers. Unbelievable. It is all going off in South Africa. Niklas Gronholm takes Q3 race 3 with a double Joker and goes P4 in the session. I think he'll hold on to TQ. Timosyanov, his teammate, 2nd. Markland, Scheider, Derrida. The crowd have applauded that. It was a bit too carnage to be right up there, but look at that. Double Joker, and he's still P4, but it's Hansen, Backerud, Hansen, the top 3 in the World Championship at the top of the table in Q3. What a session. I'm gutted that Niklas jumped the start because, Dan, I think there was a chance there that he could have got the job done on Timmy. Yeah,
100%. I mean, if you take away the Joker lap delta there, I was trying to do quick maths in my head, but of course you know our maths is now a strong point.
It's not a strong point.
he would have definitely been there or thereabouts with Timmy's time.
Oh, incredible. Absolutely incredible. Look at Timosyanov darting to the inside. Gronholm looks so close to the markers. Niklas will be crossed, but as I say, I actually think I think he'll hold on to the top position. I'm not sure. Vakala's now dropped just a little way back. Vakala, you see, he can do the laps when he's got someone right behind him. Steep learning curve. Kallio, look, is just a little bit quicker. It looks like the Nasha.
I wouldn't say he's all over him, though.
No.
He's not got the usual pace we've seen from him. I mean, obviously, limited track time yesterday, which didn't help him out. But, yeah, he's not quite as fast as we've seen him through the rest of the season. Maybe the problem with the car is affecting the performance as well.
Over the line for Nasha. Checkered flag in 3:02. So let's have a look compared to yesterday. So, okay, fair enough. So that would have been good enough yesterday for a second or a third in both sessions.
But we've seen with World RX, the track is quicker.
It has, yeah, and both times yesterday Ollie did a 3 minutes flat. So in theory, Ollie Eriksson can go a couple of seconds quicker than that, and we're going to see the track is faster, we know already. So I reckon Eriksson's going to dip under 3 minutes, isn't he, basically?
Yeah, 100%.
Narsha, Kallio and Vakela. Kallio in P2 in the standings, but Gunderson is chasing him down, and McConnell is in the mix to chase Gunderson as well. Pretty even start. Vakela, like he got a bit of judder away from the line, maybe where the RPM just dropped him a bit. Kallio came around the outside. Did he get a tag there for Narsha, or did he just come in too hot?
I think he just came in too hot, of course, with these cars being mid-engined. If you come in at that sort of speed, the weight of the rear of the car just makes it tend to step out compared to like
overtake the front. Yeah.
Like a pendulum effect.
Yeah,
is how my dad always used to describe it.
So if you go in too late on the brakes, if you back it in basically in an RX2 car, it's not the same as backing it in at all, is it? You know, because of where the weight is.
Yeah, you got more weight to drag the back end around compared to a front engine car.
So Narsha takes it from Kallio, but we've got a couple of races to go. Track might be getting quicker. Does Kallio have any hope of making it through to the semis?
Petter, great start to the day. Good to get a race win. Tell us how the track's different from yesterday.
Our track's quite the same. Had fresh tires this time, so it was a good start. Been lacking speed all weekend, but finally had some good lap times. So looking forward for Q4.
Well done, thank you.
Thank you very much.
So he had new boots on for that one. Says the track's pretty similar. Let me see, what did he do yesterday? So he's just done a 3:02, and yesterday, he's on 3:08 yesterday, Dan, both times. So he's gone 6 seconds faster. So new tyres and a clean track has seen him get 6 seconds. That's 1.5 a lap, okay, averaged in with the Joker. But so track is a lot faster. If you go 6 seconds faster, you could be looking at getting Ericsson times up towards that at the tail end of World RX.
Wouldn't surprise me though.
No, me either. So 5 more RX2 machines on the line. Vasily Gryaz in on the inside. Then it's Linus Osland, Niklas Aneklev, Anders Michalak and Steve Folders. We've got the door open. Track and air temperature. Air temperature's only got by a degree, but track temperature's gone up by 5 degrees in the last half hour. So expect it to be closer to the temperatures it was at yesterday. It's still quite windy, winds in the opposite direction, and there's still a bit of cloud cover here in Cape Town as well. Another very even start. Gryazin has that inside line. They're side by side. Gryazin just got to be brave on the brakes and hold on. Gets into the door, runs a little bit wide, but I think he's going to get the whole shot. Boulders has come all the way from slot number 5 and is potentially going to get P2. Can't quite get up the inside. And Eklev in 3rd. Back of the pack is Michalak. So Osland down in 4th place. You can see Osland here, up behind an Eklev. Pretty clean, Dan, considering they were 5 abreast as they got to the braking point.
Yeah, not too bad there, was it? And quite surprised that Boulders move there. It was quite a ballsy one. You know, there's a lot of loose gravel on the outside of turn 2 as they transition onto the gravel section, and it's easy if you carry too much speed in there to completely lose it. So brave by him, and a good job to get it tucked in as well.
Vasily Gryazin was in 7th place overnight. What had he done yesterday? Gryazin was 8th and 6th with a 3:07 and a 3:04. So if we're right, he should be getting down towards the 3-minute mark compared to yesterday's pace. So a similar gain in pace he should get to Petter Narsha. Narsha was doing 42.7. Now, to be fair, Gryazin to 2nd off the pace of Narsha. So actually Narsha and Kallio were going pretty well in that one, Dan, looking at the lap times of these guys so far.
Yeah, not too bad. I mean, we'll see what Gryazin done now after he's done a rolling lap of 43.1. So
takes 6/10 off it. So he's still 4/10 off Narsha and Kallio though. So
yeah, so maybe Narsha was right about the track. He's just managed to well, he's had his Weetabix this morning, mate.
Still got 6 seconds quicker than he went yesterday there, hasn't he? So there's definitely okay, is that tyres? 6 seconds seems a bit much for me.
Yeah, that's a bit much for tyres. I mean, maybe yesterday, I can't remember what sort of races he was in, but maybe he had a lot of traffic, and I mean, there's a lot of factors it could have been.
What's your feelings on the way the conditions are developing? Because we're now starting to see dust. Here's that point, isn't there, where it seesaws back towards being slippery and visibility.
Yeah, I mean, it is starting to head that way. My only concern is if we're going to start to see some holes, because looking out of our commentary position, you can see the curve that they go over there, where Gryson is just jumped over. We are just to the right of that shot, and we can see turns 2 and 3, and where they're really leaning on the curbs is starting to make a little bit of a hole there. There's a lot of loose gravel on the outside of the corner, so that's going to be one of my concerns.